Hello, class. This is Demetrius Wilson. We're on marketing, chapter 2, marketing function. Moving right along. When we speak about marketing function, we talk about products, who's the customer, who's the client, things of that nature. But we don't always take into consideration that even us as individuals, that we are products. Not product in the sense that I'll put you on the shelf at Target and sell you, but we are products. So who is your customer? It's whoever you want to work for, right? So my customer is whoever I go to interview with in order to attempt to get the job. How do you reach out to your customers? You use LinkedIn, you use Monster, you use Facebook, Google, direct email, a referral, all these different ways to get in contact with who your customer is. What is your price? Well, that's how much you need/want to get paid. I want to get paid a certain amount, but I also need to get paid a certain amount because this is what will cover my bills. If you're looking for a job, you better pay attention to your customer, right? So if you don't know about your customer, you go in there and start asking questions about the company. If you know certain things and you say no, then that's not going to bode well for you in the interview. But if you had a mishap or two in this area in terms of that, because I have before, I've had some terrible interviews. Or very early in my career. But don't feel bad because even the world's most famous soft drink has messed this one up. So let's check out this video about Coke. And if you guys are a Coca-Cola fan, then I'm sure if you're a Coca-Cola fan and you're a little bit older, you remember this. But if you're a Coca-Cola fan and you're younger, you probably don't, and you learn something new. It's like a little history lesson.
One of the things that they did, which no one knew at the time, was they conducted their own blind taste tests, and they were horrified to find that Pepsi actually did beat Coke a little bit more than half the time in these blind taste tests. And they thought, this can't be. For a company like Coca-Cola, which has this huge pride, we are the best. There's no question that Coca-Cola is superior to this upstart, this pipsqueak, Pepsi. For them to find that these blind taste tests revealed this was really shocking. And so they started to play around with the formula.
As Coca-Cola enters its 100th year, we know of no better way to thank the billions of consumers who have made Coca-Cola what it is than to give them a Coca-Cola that is better than ever.
Introducing the new taste of Coca-Cola. In this country, the best have a way of getting better, and Coke just did. From today, there's a new taste, a new standard against which colas will be judged. Coke is me.
Management of this company honestly and truly reveres our consumers, more than we revere a century-old formula. I've never been as confident about a decision as I am about the one we're announcing today.
Well, today, Coke announced a new real thing, a change in its formula. And as Mike Jensen reports, Pepsi said baloney.
Pepsi is giving its employees the day off to celebrate. Pepsi says by today's action, Coke has admitted that it's not the real thing.
We'll call it Drinking to America. Thank you for participating.
Please don't change the taste of Coke. How do you want to fix it? It ain't broke.
They can't do it. That's un-American because we fought wars to have a choice, to have freedom.
They changed my Coke.
Something wrong with it?
I know they sure changed it.
Coulda asked.
I coulda. I stuck with them through 3 wars and a couple of dust storms, but this is too much. Guess something big made them change.
Right, big.
Right big.
Soon after the formula is changed, the boss stops eating. As Robert Woodruff dies, an era comes to an end. For 60 years, Woodruff has led a company that sold the American dream. Now, he leaves the new bosses to answer the protests of an incensed American public.
Let me read you a few letters. Here's one that starts, Dear Chief Dodo. Well, I passed that along to Roberto on open, but he told me what it said. What ignoramus decided to change the formula of Coke? The new formula is unexciting and it's as bad as Pepsi. Burn it. Here's a letter from California. I don't think I'd be more upset if you were to burn the flag in our front yard. Now, there's one consumer that we'd like to single out. He's Mr. Gay Mullins of Seattle, Washington. And I want him to know that the first case of Coca-Cola Classic will be hand-delivered to him in appreciation for his message.
What a treasure. Thank you, Mr. Collins.
Yeah, y'all, come on. Red Prism Valley, it's a red PA. Red, white, and blue all across the USA. The Red Sox in Boston, Jazz in New Orleans, Santa Claus at Christmas when you're old blue jeans. There's a feeling in this country, the real thing's coming through. Coca-Cola Classic, red, white, and blue.
So I guess that one really speaks well to if it's not broke, you probably shouldn't try and fix it. But Coke was out of touch with what their consumers or their customer base wanted, and they sent in letters and they let them know. Now, who lost out? Well, the consumers lost out on a little bit because they had some subpar Coca-Cola for some months or whatever. But Coke, they're the ones who lost out because they spent all that money, marketing campaigns, come with new formula, things like that, and had to scrap all of the new Coke from the market. Insightful businesses acknowledge the importance of production and sales, but realize that the following 3 steps are most effective, right? And this was in chapter 1 as well. Continuously collect information about customers' needs and competitors' capabilities. We need to know what our customers need, and we need to know what our the capabilities of our competitors are to see if they're a threat to our business. We want to share the information across departments, including production and sales, so that we can all work as a cohesive unit. And we want to use the information to create a competitive advantage by increasing value to customers, right? I want to make my product more valuable to you. I want to put a webcam on the computer so it's more valuable to Demetrius so he can record a video for class. Be sure to remember, so these are things that you have to, stick in the back of your brain. Keep them there, lock them, don't let them fall out. Every organization has limited resources, right? We can't just have as many people and as much overtime as we want. Organizations simply cannot do everything and be all things to all people. They have to prioritize and choose. We have to pick, like what's the top pecking order. And marketing is always most effective when it's relevant to the potential customer. If marketing is not relevant to your potential customer, then it's not really doing its job. Is it relevant to your current customers? Yes, but if you have your current customers, you have a likelihood that they're possibly coming back. The potential customers are the ones that you want to draw in. And remember, we talked about customer retention. So you want to draw them in, you want to keep them there, you want to create value and make them a long-lasting, loyal customer. So marketing step by step. Take it by the 4 steps. Step 1, you want to identify the business needs you address. So to define your total market, start by stating the needs you will fulfill. Well, I need to type in Word and put formulas in Excel, right? They're going to fulfill my need. Microsoft fulfills that need. Who are your products and services intended for? Well, it's intended for people in business, for college students, for kids doing their homework. What do you want to do, or who do you want to do business with? Well, those are the same people that I just mentioned. And what is unique about your product? Well, it's compatible with all computers, right? Just giving you an example from Microsoft. Step number 2, you want to segment your total market, right? You want to put it in these different various buckets. Break down the large market into smaller sections using a process known as segmentation. Which of these subgroups are likely to be most productive in your market niche, right? So some people say, you know what? Although everybody's making a computer, I'm going to make a computer that is waterproof, right? Why? Because we're going to market it to people on the beach or people who live on islands, right? So we'll make sure that they're waterproof. I'm not saying that that's a great idea. I'm just saying that that's a niche. Step 3, profile your target customer segment. So develop profiles of your target customers to get a true picture of the people you are trying to serve, right? We want to get that profile and say these are the people who we want to go after because these are the people who have the means to purchase our product and these are the people who we can provide a competitive advantage with. and describe these potential customers as fully as you can. So if you know everything, the more you know about them, the more sales you're going to make. And step 4, research and validate your market opportunity, right? So you want to do your proper research, but then you also want to research the research and validate what you've come up with. So you want to conduct research to verify that there will be enough business in this group to support your company and its growth. So supporting the growth is very, very important because you don't want to just flatline, want to make $100,000 worth of sales and then nothing from there. No, you want to continue to make $100,000 worth of sales. The process confirms that the need actually exists, right? Is there a need? Is there a need for a computer? Yes, there definitely is. Is there a need for the chair that I'm sitting in? Yes, there is. And that's not just wishful thinking on your part. So just because you think everybody wants it doesn't mean everybody does. And you have to learn how to be objective and separate the two, right? So if it's one of your pet projects, I think everybody needs a umbrella hat. Well, you know, back in the day, I did see a lot of those, but right about now, nobody's checking for an umbrella hat. So if it's my wishful thinking because I think they look nice, then I'm off base and I'm not going to make any sales and my company's going to fold. So let's just look at a few value propositions that'll be in the chapter that you read. This is Pinterest. I'm sure a lot of you guys are on there getting recipes, do-it-yourself things, all things like that. Well, their value proposition for Pinterest is discover ideas for any project or interest handpicked by people like you. And although that is not the longest sentence on earth, I guarantee you that they took hours and took a lot of different people, a lot of smart people to come up with that actual value proposition. So for Pinterest, the value proposition doesn't offer a lengthy description of what Pinterest is and how it works. It simply states the benefit Pinterest provides to its users. Notice the use of the phrase "people like you," right? It makes me feel involved. The value proposition connects you with the sites, the other users, to the sites, the other users through your own interests, right? So if I'm interested in crocheting, then it's going to connect me with the people who also crochet. So let's check out the value proposition for Skype. Skype keeps the world talking. Call, message, and share whatever you want for free. And so you notice what they put in there even before we go to the next slide, for free, all right? So does that bring some people in? Oh, man, this is free. Sign me up, right? Some people don't care about the cost, but the good majority of people do. The value proposition first highlights Skype's broad use, which is an important feature for its network-based approach. Next, it describes the offering. Skype provides more information than Pinterest does about what its offering is, and it highlights the fact that it's free, right? So some of these other things are free, but they don't necessarily put that in their value proposition. Salesforce.com. I really like Salesforce.com. I've used it before. It's a great CRM, and the reason why I say CRM is because they put CRM on there, and I'll talk about that in the next slide. That's it's something that's used in an industry for people, that know the term. So, client relationship management system, right? So, because I take my whole client base and I put all their information in there. And they assume that if you're looking at this, you know what a CRM is. So, sell smarter with the world's #1 CRM solution. The value proposition for Salesforce.com includes the acronym CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management, right? Software. Not everyone knows that acronym, but Salesforce is confident that the target customers do, and it's betting that they are seeking such a system to improve sales management processes and results, right? So they don't need for you to, if you don't know what this is, then they know that you're not about to purchase any type of a system from Salesforce.com. But if you know that it's a client or customer relationship management system, then you might be in the market for that. Uber, gained a lot of popularity in the last few months and years. Same thing with Lyft, but it says you ride on demand, transportation in minutes with the Uber app. Right, so it brings up a few things like so they ride on demand, right? You have to hail a cab, transportation in minutes with the Uber app, right? So it knows that you're using your phone when you mention app. The value proposition is very simple, but it says enough about the value that you may want to learn more about how it works. In just a few words, the value proposition explains that you can get a ride when you need need it using your phone. And I was in a establishment, and a buddy's like, hey, let's go over to this other place. I was like, cool. And he just typed this thing in, Uber came, picked us up, and we rolled over to the next spot. Works great for me. People who drive cabs are not too happy with it. But it's free enterprise, and it's sooner or later something technology related is going to involve itself in any market, and it's involved itself in the transportation market, and it's having a very strong effect on people who drive cabs. So the marketing mix. So we're talking about the marketing mix and then what the marketing mix has evolved into. So we're talking about the 4 P's and we'll talk about the 4 C's. So a product is a goods or services offered. Promotion is communication information. So what we communicate about our product, the information that we provide to draw people in. The place is a distribution or delivery, right? So is it brick and mortar? You walk into my place, or is it delivery at Amazon.com and I send it over to you? And the price is ensuring fair value of the transaction, right? So we want a fair value. You don't want to feel ripped off and pay like $10,000 for the computer that I sold you. You want to pay a fair price. This is just a graphic depiction of the marketing mix. So product, price, place, promotion, all intertwined into one, and searching towards that target market. So goes from the 4 P's to the 4 C's. So customer solution, and the 4 C's are more customer service or customer relation based. So customer solution, what the customer wants and needs, right? So what do I want? What do I need? Communication is a two-way dialogue with the customer, not just you talking at the customer, but them communicating back what they want. And then you taking that feedback and moving from there. Convenience, an easy process to act or buy. Is it easy for me to purchase a ticket online? Yeah, it is. So it's convenience. If it's not convenient, then maybe I move on to a different process. And cost is a customer's cost to satisfy that want or need, right? How much does it cost to satisfy what I want? Going back to the customer solution, and how much does it cost to purchase what I need? And these are good, pictures worth 1,000 words. So same things that you just saw here with the product, promotion, place, and price. You see here. So product, what solution does the customer want, need? So you see your features, design, user experience, naming, branding, differentiation. Right? Promotion, what is the dialogue between the customer and the company? So message, method of delivery, time of delivery, communications by customers, influencers, and competitor promotions. 2 more. Place, how does the customer act or buy, right? Do I walk in? Can I get it online? Can I get it through my phone? Location of purchases, ease of transition, access to distribution channels, sales force, competitor approaches. And then finally the price, which can deter people, because if you can't afford the price, you may not want to purchase it. So what is the cost to the customer, value to the buyer, price sensitivity, existing price points, discounts, right? Are there coupons? Are there discounts? I get my CVS discounts. They send me emails or texts, and I say, hey, I was going there to purchase something anyway in a couple days. I might as well go now. So it prompts me to go. And competitor pricing. And this is a great diagram right here, the marketing planning process. So it goes from the corporate mission. So we get together, and it takes a long time, but we get these sentences together, and this is our mission as a corporation. Goes down to situational analysis, which breaks into internal factors, strengths, and weaknesses. Right. So this is our SWOT analysis, right? Strengths, weaknesses, SW, opportunities and threats is OT, SWOT analysis. So internal factors are strengths and weaknesses, what we're strong at, what we're weak at. External factors are opportunities, because we can take advantage of this opportunity, or this is a threat from another company that's coming in. It's going to hurt our company. Corporate strategy. So that SWOT analysis goes into what our corporate strategy is, because we need to know how strong we are and weak we are in certain areas. And then we need to know what opportunities and threats are out there before we form our corporate strategy. And then our corporate strategy goes down to our corporate, because it goes tactics, strategy, and then it goes into operational view and tactics, right? Operational view, I'm sorry. So strategy, tactics, operational. Operational is like that day-to-day. Strategy is a high-level 10,000-foot view, which that goes down into our marketing strategy, objectives, and our tactics. And then that goes into our product, place, price, and promotion, which also involves our 4 C's as well. And then our implementation. So we implement everything that we've talked about, and then we evaluate. And you have to get that key part, which is evaluate. You don't just implement and just let's see how it goes. You implement it, then you evaluate it. And if there's things that you can fix, then you fix them, see how it goes, evaluate it again, and then you go through the same process. It's cyclical. So every time you evaluate, then you implement those changes and those updates and adjustments that make your company better. If you just stay status quo, then you probably won't be around that long. Just like a typewriter, some people swore by a typewriter. Who's used a typewriter in the last 20 years, right? People swore by Circuit City. Can you find a Circuit City now? So you have to, continue to evolve in terms of your process. I look at, in my neighborhood, I see the sports authorities closing down like crazy, and Dick's Sporting Good is doing great, and they're bringing in that business because I believe that they have a great aesthetic about the building, and it's somewhere that you would like to go in and shop. If you're looking for a discount, maybe go to Big Five, but if you're looking for something that's solid, steady built, then you're going to go to Dick's Sporting Goods. And there's no room for any in between. There's no room for, Sports Chalet or Sports Authority. So that's it for chapter 2. Like I said, we're trying to keep these kind of short. This one was 20 minutes, so it's a little bit longer than chapter 1. But they're not too long. Hopefully you didn't fall asleep. But that's it for chapter 2. So be sure to do everything that's required in this module, and you'll be good to go. As always, I want you guys to have a good day and a great week.